Kelsey, and this is Igniting Insight. I've been called to do a reading for you. I actually sat down this morning to do a reading for myself, but I couldn't ignore the call from the angels and guides that I've been hearing today, that whatever insight I might need personally is going to be a message that's important and relevant for a collective. So they've asked that I go ahead and record this reading and make it for the collective. And just know that the way I read is really, it's a channeling, and whatever messages need to come through from higher self, from spirit, from God, will come through in the context that they are meant to. So I have not done any planning for this reading. This is going to be completely intuitively done, and I do hope that it is helpful for you. I've been called to connect with Archangel Metatron, so I'm going to specifically call him into the room if you would like to be a part of this reading, as well as any other archangels, ascended masters, spirit guides, the masculine and the feminine higher self, as this may be a twin flame reading. But I'm getting the message that even if you don't resonate with the twin flame dynamic or blueprint, this message may apply to you, because we need to remember that we all have masculine and feminine energies in ourselves, and the way we reach wholeness and connection to source, wholeness in ourselves that allows us to understand that we are not separate from our external world or from God. The path to this wholeness is balancing the feminine and masculine within yourself. They've been speaking to me a lot lately about the importance of realizing the effects of our social patriarchy through the ages and the effects that that's had on our psyche, the breaks that it's created inside ourselves. And they're telling me that now is the time that healing is possible. And I think that that's why they want to use me as a vessel at this time. I feel also drawn to speak my truth, which is that I've been on a spiritual path, on an awakening journey. I'm 26, and I think I first maybe started this when I was 20, 21. So a good 5 years of deep work. But in that 5 years, I've had a lot of challenges as well, some really intense traumas that have shaped the way I view the awakening journey. But it's only been in the last 4 months that I've undergone what I frame in my mind as a second awakening, triggered by reunion with my twin flame and the psychic abilities and gifts, and the way I've been able to tune into the collective energies and the spirit guides just in 4 months makes me feel like I might not be the most qualified reader, but my willingness to serve and to be here as a vessel is what makes me special, and I think that's why they're using me. So again, the guides, angels, ascended masters, please show me what energies you would like to read. Okay, it's going to be kind of on the fly. They want me to start with the wisdom of the oracle deck. This is by Colette Baron Reed. I love this deck. I do want to just go ahead and say that I link all the decks that I use down below if you have any interest in them, as well as some other products I think are helpful. I just have a general description box that I post to all my videos, as well as the specific decks that I've used. This helps support my channel. If you use those links, I get a small commission from the company. All my links are Amazon at this time, which I feel that there is a need to say that Amazon is a huge corporation that doesn't necessarily need our support. But as someone with limited finances at this time, it's helpful that they usually have discounted prices. But I also just want to say, like, if you want to go support your local metaphysical shop and buy from them, I like that idea a lot. I would prefer that for myself, but at this time, Amazon is where I'm buying my decks. So that's what I've used as an affiliate, and I would really appreciate your support as I work to align myself more with my purpose and provide greater service to the collective. It's going to require some financial shifts for me, so I just want to be very real and authentic about that. Okay, so what is the overall message from this deck that you need us to hear? So know that I think a lot of readers, I mean, this is such a serious topic. This is like life beyond life, you could kind of say. I mean, thinking about like our soul purpose, what's our direction, and how are we going to uplift this planet so that we don't destroy ourselves. Pretty heavy topics, but I tend to actually get into a more playful mode when I'm doing readings, and that comes across sometimes. Maybe not as much as I think it does, because I tend to view myself as someone that comes across too seriously, so when I feel like I'm being extra playful, sometimes I don't want you to think that I'm not taking this seriously, because I am, but I think that maybe there's some lightheartedness needed, you know, in this day and age, even as we're doing this deep work. So I'm gonna pull 3 cards. So far we have Peace, number 23, and Between Worlds, number 3. A whole bunch of cards came out, but this one was on top, and I believe that this one was right underneath this one and kind of was calling to be pulled out. So here it is again. So Peace, Between Worlds, and Treasure Island, which is number 9. These 2 cards, so this is a new deck, and I've not looked at all the cards yet or looked at all the meanings yet in the book. I'm really liking just being surprised by what comes out, but these 2 are both cards I've got. Actually, all of these are cards I've gotten before, which is interesting, which means that it's affirmation for me that the energies I'm reading are real, I guess you could say, and it's a specific collective, because you know, as much as energies shifts and changes frequently, the underlying current can often stay the same for a period of time. And that just means that there's more ways for us to view the situation, or more lessons for us to learn within the current energy. So Peace is pretty self-explanatory. It's about finding inner peace. It's about finding peace with your situation as it is. And we're between worlds right now, so we're in a transition phase. This card, this energy can leave us feeling uncertain, unstable, insecure. We can become fearful. And the Peace is a reminder to stay centered and calm through this transition, because we're moving towards a great treasure. We're moving towards a great expansion and a great reward. So if you are feeling, I mean, even I love this, how it's, you know, it's the black and white to the color, and we've got the sea in this picture, the color, and the flamingos moving towards, oh, maybe you guys can't really see that. But we have, see, basically he's in the sea and it's coming to color, and then there's the sea. So it's a very fluid way that the spread came out. So I'm just going to take this as our overall energy, the transition. That's what we're speaking to today. And then I'm going to just pull other cards. Let's see. This is the Witch's Tarot. I think I am being called to go ahead and do a twin flame reading. So we're going to take this as the overall energy for the twins of this transition. And we're going to get some energies for both sides. First, I will start with the feminine. We'll look at head, heart, they're coming out right as I'm saying that, and foundation or root action. They literally every single, okay, I'm gonna have to pile things on top because I only have this small table. A card came out literally as I said each of those words that it was applying to, so I just think that's pretty cool. So we have in the head the Hermit. The Hermit is about going within. So I think intellectually, our thinking mind and how we're thinking about our twin flame and our union, you know, it's taking us some time to process. I think the feminine is in a time of processing. All of these energies actually speak to, it's kind of like what comes before the great leap is what I'm hearing. This is the energy of what's coming before the union and coming before full integration. The Hermit suggests to me that we're taking mental space. We might have become less psychically involved with our twin over the past few weeks or months. And that's because we've needed to do a lot of self-reflection and really find our truth within our own beings. I do sense that, again, our foundation here is about a shift. So we're shifting. So this is the current energy, but in the context of being just before a shift. In the heart space, we have Two of Pentacles. This suggests some uncertainty. Of course, this is all about balance. And here you can see he's balancing these two coins and there's an infinity symbol. So what I'm getting from this card is not the literal meaning of this card, but it is that we can see that what we have is infinite love, unconditional love, universal love, but we're still trying to balance it with our current reality. We're balancing past, present, and future, and especially because there's only two pentacles here, past and future. And I'm going to go ahead and heed the call to use my experience as wisdom and say that in myself personally, I've been feeling like there's so much dichotomy and disconnection between the person I've been in the past, the way that I've acted and felt and perceived the world. You could call this, all of us before we wake up, we're asleep, right? So a lot of times when you wake up, you're not only starting to see the reality of the world around you, but the reality of yourself and how ego has led you into darkness in your past. And I've been feeling that in myself. It hasn't been a heavy energy for me. I think for some people it may be heavier than others. It's all about where we are in the path. But know that it is possible to balance that reality of the past with the future that you can see, which is so bright and light and blissful. And it's possible to hold those two things simultaneously. In fact, it's necessary because they are what create the ability to have this universal love and to have this infinite expansion. It's the duality that allows us to expand and learn. Okay, and then for the root, the core energy, the foundational energy, we have the Chariot. So I think this is really good for the feminine because this is suggesting that at our core, we understand that we're moving forward and we understand that we need patience and we're having patience. We're having patience with the Chariot. The Chariot is about slow and deliberate action and forward movement. And that's what we have here at the root. So not hold to that, but take heart in that and find security in your foundation that you do know the truth, that you are the light, and that you will find union as long as you continue to seek the balance. That's the message that came through. So I'm going to read the same 3 card placements for the masculine. I think. Okay. Wow, headspace. We have the 5 of Wands. Can you see that? I'll pull up cards if they need to be. So that's internal mental conflicts. That's what that is. And a card for the masculine heart space, please. 1 card for the masculine heart space. 1 card. So they're really wanting to get me to get these 2 cards, okay? They just keep sticking to my hand. 7 of Swords and Knight of Swords. And this would be a good time to say my bit about reversals, that I sometimes take them, I sometimes don't. I usually just intuitively feel whether this is a blocked energy or an open, expansive, forward-moving energy. I'm going to leave the reversal here because it's paired with the 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords and Knight of Swords for the heart. So, Knight of Swords is about charging forward with a new idea, with understanding, insight, and being unafraid to speak your truth. It did come reversed, so there is a block, which makes complete sense with having the 7 of Wands here, because 7 of Wands, it's about, it's a layered card. You can, the one word definition for the 7 of Swords is selfishness, but that selfishness as a state has so much going on beneath the surface. What I mean by that is we don't become selfish for no reason. We become selfish when we're afraid, when we have a sense of lack, and I'm also getting a lack of direction, which is interesting when we have this forward moving energy that's blocked here. So I might pull another card actually for this space, but I'm gonna take a few moments to let the messages come through. I want to make sure that they're clear. I have ideas, but I want to make sure that I'm pinpointing the exact message. So I'm gonna ask for some insight, intuitive clarity into this message. They're saying, don't guard your heart. You know the truth. There's no need to hide or steal yourself away or be fearful that you will somehow lose. I think the masculine has the truth in their heart, but they're not sharing it because they feel afraid that the feminine's not going to receive them gracefully. And I can't speak at this moment whether that fear is grounded or true, but I can tell you that fears aren't the direction that we're meant to move in. And so this is giving encouragement to step away from that energy. In the root core foundation, we have reversed Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is beautiful energy. You see the sunshine in the hawk. This is all about new creative ideas. Creativity abounds. Life becomes faster paced. It came in reversed, which just means, in this case, this is their foundation, right? And this is very positive. The fact that it came in reversed is just speaking to this other energy that there's other things going on. They can't quite just come from this place directly. They're having to move through the heart and the mental space, which does have some heavier energy. I'm actually feeling called to look at the book definition for this card for whatever reason, from the deck it belongs to. So let's go ahead and find this here. This is I like this deck. Some of the images are kind of funny, but most of them are good. And oh, I said it's a hawk. It's not a hawk, it's a butterfly. It looked like a hawk from my unclear vision looking into the camera. So butterfly, that's a little lighter. Definitely suggesting a new idea. So I'm just gonna read this for you. I'm gonna read both the card explanation, which talks about the imagery, and the meaning. So dawn is breaking, and we see a blossoming hawthorn branch stuck firmly into the grassy hill. The wand is a bit reminiscent of a maypole, with its crisscrossed ribbons and fire-red streamer blowing in the breeze. According to tradition, the hawthorn tree was a popular choice for maypoles. Behind the wand, there are green rolling hills and a turreted castle on a hill. The castle in the background represents the reward that waits for you after your quest for knowledge and advancement is complete. The hawthorn is associated with the element of fire, making it fitting as the wand represents representation in this tarot for witches. The hawthorn flowers flourishing on the single wand symbolize ideas that emerge and then blossom from our minds. In the language of flowers, the hawthorn blossom symbolizes hope. The bright red butterfly flutters to the side of the wand. The butterfly symbolizes transformation, regeneration, and joy. It is going to be a beautiful day and one full of promise. Wow, so as I'm reading this, I mean, it's definitely speaking to everything I said, but I'm starting to really feel in the pit of my stomach and in my heart the masculine energy, which is they're holding simultaneously so much hope and so much despair, and it is painful. It's painful for them to have this knowing and to see the castle in the distance, but to not be able to quite travel there yet. I think that there could be some frustration that they're still working through the heaviness. And this is making me like a little bit emotional, so I think this is a very deep message. I'm going to read the meaning now. The Ace of Wands is the most potent and pure form of the masculine element of fire. Okay, that makes so much sense. This card shows the creative fire or energy that cannot be contained and now is bursting forth in bloom. The Ace of Wands helps to reveal the creative path or the career path that you are on. Your hard work is turning your ideas into successful reality. This is an auspicious card if the current is considering a new job or is up for a promotion at work. The Ace of Wands symbolizes power, new beginnings, a birth, success, a new home, promotion, or a new job, ambition, passion, enthusiasm, and growth. I'll read the reverse definition: disappointment, not being able to see the happiness that is right in front of your face, lack of direction and focus, wasted energy, and magical talents. I love that it said it's the most potent form of masculine energy. So they're getting in touch. They're about to get in touch really deeply with their true essence and power, their ability to be a creative force in the world. And I'm getting that this is their spiritual calling as well. Because when you think about the twin flame dynamic and the energies that we have, obviously we have sexual energy, which is creative energy. And our purpose is to bring down higher love and the truth of that higher love to the physical plane. And that's a big job. It's a big duty, they're saying. And so having some fear and having some block to the ability to be completely expansive as a masculine force, as a creative force in the world, it's warranted. It makes sense. There's no need to feel shame in that. That's the message they really want me to say is you need to sit through the shame. Let it exist and let it pass through you because it doesn't need to hold you back anymore. The feminines know that where they're headed. They know they're still doing their work. They know they're still taking their time. And the masculines have a little bit more chaotic energy. But we both know what this is. Soulmate connection. Innocent soulmate connection. Completely. The thing about children, this card is it's the Six of Cups. It's a soulmate card. It's also the card of childhood and innocence. And the innocent, having a 3-year-old myself, you can see they're so much more connected to the divine until they get their conditioning and their programming from society. So as much as you can cultivate this innocence in yourself, connect to your inner child. That will help you find union in yourself so that you can find union with the twin. Okay. That's a pretty good message. I'm definitely understanding why they wanted me to share this and record this. I'm gonna take a moment to see if there's anything else, because this feels like we got a lot of insight already, and I just want to see any other messages that are needed at this time, how they may come through. Actually, I'm gonna pull a healing card for both sides. These are Whispers of Healing by Angela Hartfield, illustrated by Josephine Wall, who's just the most amazing illustrator ever. I love her work so much. It's so ethereal and magical and intricate. Like, and then she has, there's several decks of hers, or she has illustrated for several decks, and then you just think, how many paintings have you done? Like hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands and thousands of these very intricate paintings. I'm a musician, but I'm not an artist, so that just amazes me. A little bit of an artist, but not anything crazy. I don't really practice that art as much. Okay, so what does the feminine need most for healing? What reminder should we receive to guide us in our healing efforts? Where should we steer our healing efforts for the feminine at this time? Seek seclusion. So, it's a 24. It's a 24 card, which is a 6. Which I am not a numerology expert by any stretch of the word. Most numbers I don't remember their direct meanings of. But I watched another reader, and she was talking about the 6. And I believe what she said, is it universal love? That's what I'm getting. So, and it's interesting that we have like this, almost like this princess character. Oh, hi, you can see my face. I just haven't like done anything today, so I didn't want to do that. So you can see her, she's resting. And here's the knight. The knight in shining armor. The knight coming in with his idea, with his truth. In a way, she's not ready to hear it. She's still doing her work, and I think the feminines, there's different groups of energy I'm reading for here, I think, but there is a group of feminines that are very secure in their knowing of their process and their willingness to just let it unfold. And for anyone that is experiencing resistance to that process, know that you are able to move into that energy of free-flowing receptivity as you focus on yourself and let things just unfold. We have the Hermit in the crown, right? In the mental space, so we know we're taking this time. What I'm getting for the feminine is we want it to be right. There may have been union in the past and then separation. And when we get back together, when we find union again, we don't want it to be like it was before. The feminine is wanting the truth. The feminine is wanting the ultimate truth. They want the union and the divine love, and they want to do the mission with their divine counterpart. Most feminines at this time have started the mission themselves, and they do have a deep desire to work with the masculine on the mutual mission. But they've realized that they are the feminine energy. They are not the ones that are needing to make offers of love. It's all about being open rather than forceful with your love. Be open to receiving the love of the other, of the counterpart, and hold onto your knowing of your own divine truth your own divine love, the truth that you are love. And that can never be altered. No, dog. Oh, I'm sorry. My dog tried to get in and bumped this. I hope that is understandable. Let's pull a healing card for the masculine. Meditation. So this is another card about taking some time, being in your own body, and meditating. It's the number 3. I may or may not add some information on the number 3 down below because it's not coming through at this time. But I do feel like it might be important for some people, or I might just put it in the video right here. But what I'm getting for this card really is, whereas the feminine are seeking seclusion without the added meaning in this card of spirituality, because they kind of have the spiritual knowing already, and they're seeking seclusion in the physical in order to continue their healing and integration work. The meditation card suggests to me that the masculine are needing a similar kind of space, but in their seclusion, they need to be meditating. They need to actually be tuning into their spirituality, working on their spirituality, tuning into the divine and their truth, and really, you know, they kind of have some catch up to do with the feminine in that the feminine has become a lot more comfortable with herself as a spiritual divine being working in the world, and we're both obviously still, it's an ever-growing and expanding process, but the masculine is needing to step into that reality and that power and that version of himself more so. And it's going to happen through meditation, through taking quiet moments of reflection and tuning in to the truth and the messages that are abundant and all around. Okay. Then I'm going to pull some Romance Angels cards for the union energy, for the dynamic between the two flames. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So for some of you, this could mean literally religious factors, meaning you could come from different religious backgrounds. There could be a need for the meeting of minds and finding some neutrality between your different backgrounds. But this also speaks to the need for both twins to be on the spiritual path together at roughly the same place in order to be in union. This is a feminine character on the card, and she's looking very spiritual. So the feminine is very spiritual at this time. And I don't want this to come across, this is not meant to say that she is better than the masculine in any way, because she's still doing work. They're both doing work, and I'm being called to say right now to remember that you are not one or the other. You are not one or the other, masculine or feminine. In a twin flame bond, we have a polarity, so that one being is going to resonate at the frequency of divine feminine more so than the other, and the counterpoint will be the masculine. But in ourselves, we have both energies. And the feminine right now, the feminine side is more in tune. more spiritual, more aware than the masculine side. And it's one reason for separation, that we're not on the same page spiritually at this time. Okay, a second card for the union. Healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So, this speaks to healing the past. And I don't think that this card is necessarily constricted to applying to just your parents. There could be people that have parents that are no longer with us, where this card would not necessarily feel like it resonates. But the message I'm getting through this card from the guides is that we need to heal the past, especially as it relates to our upbringing and even some karmic patterns, past life patterns of family and how we relate to family. If there's any unhealed wounds in the family, resolving these will bring us towards union, is the message. Okay, and then we have unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. That's an interesting message. And I'll be totally transparent in this moment and tell you that unrequited love makes sense to me. This message, I can feel some resistance in myself. And yet I know there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Part of the feminine's process right now of seclusion and being in hermit mode, so to speak, is both a contributing factor and a result of a lessening of this feeling of strong attraction. I'm getting strong sexual attraction, strong physical attraction. I think if the chemistry isn't feeling like it's there for you at this time, you can always connect with your counterpart in the fifth dimension or in the spirit realm. If you're feeling like the lack of connection is heavy, turn inward. If you're feeling like you're open to a greater sense of connection, then it's okay to turn towards your twin. Whether that's in the physical reality, if you are in contact, or in spirit realm. I'm getting the message that it's important to be connected in the spirit realm before we try to connect in the physical. So if any masculines have been trying to reach out with their truth, the block could be this sense that there's been a change in the chemistry. And this is nothing to fear or despise. This is just the process. And this is, you could even view this as a test if that is something that's not too triggering for you. It's a test of the love. It's a test of your ability to find the unconditional love without that extremely strong physical attraction. We're being shown that this love is not just about sex. This love is not about neediness, certainly. It's not about codependency. It's about unconditional love. Your ability to find that for yourself first, through the connection with the divine, through your connection with the divine. and then to find it for each other only after you found it for yourself. And the romantic feelings will return in a new form. In the context of true unconditional love, the chemistry will feel so much different that you might not even recognize the bond, the feeling of the bond, as the same. We've changed a lot in the last few months, both masculine and feminine. And so, if you're someone on a similar timeline as I, which I think I'll also mention that I had a false twin relationship as well, which caused the trauma that I alluded to in the past few years. And only connected with my true twin a few months ago. And not in the spiritual place, the vibration that I am now. So using my own life context to clarify this message. If you've been in union or reunited with your twin recently, in the past few months, or even the last time, the next time that's coming soon is going to feel a lot different. And so knowing that can actually help us let go of the past, because we shouldn't be seeking the past. We shouldn't be seeking the way that our relationship was and felt when it first started, because we need to come back to each other with all of the healing work that we've done. As more whole people, we need to come back to each other as more whole people, so that we can be in true love. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that message. That is the message for today. I hope that it was helpful for you. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I'll be back again soon with another reading, I'm sure, as I let Spirit guide me through this journey of being of service to you. As always, let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you. Namaste.